Good. Okay, so a resistance band workout for you guys today. If you've just joined us live or if you're doing on record, if you've got a resistance band, great. Don't worry if you haven't. You can do it completely without, or you can use a dressing gown, belt, or a muslin or something, whatever you've got to hand, just to add a little bit of resistance into our workout. So we are going to get started, and I'm just going to move my mat this way a little bit so you can see what's going on. Don't need the band straight away. We're going to start with our warm-up. As always, just make sure that you've got plenty of water and that you're feeling good. So we're just going to start straight away with some single leg raises. We're going straight in with testing the balance. Not fast here, okay? Especially if you've literally rolled out of bed to join me. We want to ease ourselves in a little bit. Okay, so you're just trying to bring those knees up as high as you're comfortable with. Doesn't matter too much. The important thing here is that we're just using our balance and coming onto one leg. Okay, 2 more of these. 1 and 2. And then we're going straight back into some leg pulses. So you're tipping at the waist and just pulsing your leg back and forth here. Good squeeze through the glute. Again, it's just all about the balance. So waking up those core muscles. Keep going on this side. For 2 and 1. Then you're going to shift side. I'm going to turn around and face you this time. Okay, tilt forward as far as you're comfortable with. The further you tilt, the more of a balance test it's going to be. So just find something to focus on. Good. We go 3, 2, and 1. Back to center. We're coming into those hip openers. You can either go 1 on each side or stay on the same side and then switch over. So really rotating those hips, opening up the pelvis and those tight hip flexors. Oh, click anything away that needs to be clicked away. Good. Keep the shoulders relaxed. We're going 1 more on each side for 1 and 1. Then you're going to bring those legs quite wide apart and we're going to just tip forwards at the waist. Keeping the legs straight, just let your arms dangle down. So you should get a lovely stretch up the back of your legs, up the calves and into the thighs, into the hamstrings. And you can either stay straight here or if you want to, you can dangle side from side a little bit, get a little bit of a sway on. And then slowly, when you're ready, rolling back up, nice and slowly. Shoulders are the last thing to come up. Turn those toes out to the corner of the room and we're going to reach across, knee to knee, to start off with. So you're still staying tall through the body, the shoulders are back, and we're just swinging. So starting off at this height, if you're comfortable here, stay here. If you want to start coming lower down, either shin to shin or toe to toe, then you can. You'll feel more of a stretch going on through the legs the lower you go. Keep going side to side. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly coming back up. If you're all the way down there, you can walk those feet back in a little bit. We're going to come into those lovely torso sweeps. So down side to side. Hips stay forward for this one. Really try to extend that reach as far as you can so you get that lovely stretch through the body. Gosh, it's so dark here. I feel like I'm doing a nighttime session rather than a morning session. Come on, July. Get with the program. Let's keep going. For 2 and 1. Bring those feet back together a little bit, wriggle the toes. Just come up and stretch out the calves by coming up onto the toes a couple of times. Holding it here. Coming back down, wriggle. Good. We'll do 1 more of those. And then we'll come in with our lovely shoulder rolls. So forwards and back. Lovely. And then changing direction. Elbows coming out, really shrugging up into it. Good stuff. 2 and 1. Arms come out, palms facing together. We're going to come back, squeeze together. Come back, squeeze together. It's a slow motion as you come together, especially as your hands come closer, so they're not actually clapping. But we're just really squeezing those shoulder blades at the back there. Really lovely chest opener, this one. Good for the posture. Good. 2 more of these. 1 and 2. Relax those hands back down. Just going to stretch off the neck a little bit. So bring the ear down to one shoulder. Don't bring the shoulders up. Get a lovely stretch through here. Oh, and then coming across onto the other side. Working out any little knots. Good. Okay, and we're just going to stretch the wrists off to finish off. And then we'll get started with the main event. So just bringing your wrist down towards you. And then in. Flexing it a couple of times. And then switching sides. Good stuff. Okay, shake everything out. Grab a quick drink if you want to, and then we're going to get started. So if you've got a band, grab a band. If you've got a belt, grab a belt or a muslin. If you've not got anything, just do the motions without it. All this is doing is adding in a bit of extra resistance so that the muscles are working that much harder. Okay, so we're going to stay with the upper body to start off with. I'm going to wrap mine around my hands a couple of times because this one's quite long. And we're just going to come up and over, up and over. So you can come as far back as you're comfortable with. If that's your stopping point, fine. If it's there, fine. If you can come all the way down, then do. Just go with what works for you. But as you're doing this, really concentrate on keeping that core nice and tight. Belly button is drawn back to the spine. The hips are staying forwards, and all that you're doing is rotating through these shoulders. If you've been stuck feeding or lifting for a long time, little ones, you might not be able to feel like you can come all the way back to begin with. But if you do these regularly, it's really going to help loosen you off. Again, if you've been working from home and you've been stooped over a laptop that's balanced on your knee or on your kitchen unit that isn't at the right height, you're going to feel really stiff through the shoulders, or perhaps round, creeping into the front of the chest. A couple of these every day will really sort you out. So keep going here. Core still on. We're going for 2 more. 1 and 2. Bring it back around to the front, holding out at just chest height. We're going to come into some high knees. I'm going opposite. So opposite knee to opposite wrist, trying to get them to meet. If you can't, just go like this. It's absolutely fine. But keep those arms held out at chest level, because you'll feel a bit of a burn coming through the shoulders. You want to keep everything fired up. Good. Keep going. If you want to speed these up, you absolutely can, but you don't need to, okay? Just walking it through, getting those legs up nice and high is a good workout. Keep it going. Feeling it through the shoulders. 4 and 3. 2. Last one. Good stuff. Let's roll those shoulders back a little bit. Okay, coming into some squats. You knew they were coming. So just get your feet underneath your hips. We're going to lower ourselves down and extend the arms out in front as we do. Hold for a second. And then as we come up, we're coming up overhead. You can't quite see, my arms have gone out of shot, but you get the idea. So you're sinking down, extending the arms. Hold. And then coming up overhead. Do it from the side. Sinking down. Extend. Hold. and overhead. Don't forget that little pelvic thrust just as you come up out of your squat there. If you can, think about lifting up your pelvic floor at the same time as you're coming up from your squat. Keep going. Make sure that you're holding just for a second down at the bottom there. Good. Are you coming as low down as you can? Keep going. We've got 3 more of these, okay? And up. 2 more. Hold. And up. Final one. I'm not going to make you hold it any longer. It's not one of my tricks. Up, down, roll the shoulders, drop the neck down on each side if you need a little bit of a release. Okay, 1 foot in front of the other this time. We can slightly sideways on. We're going to come into speed board. So again, you can do this without anything. If you're using a band or something, bring those hands apart so you've really got some resistance there. Core is still on. So you're nice and tight through the core. Everything else is going to wobble a little bit, okay? So don't worry, it's supposed to. Keep going. Grit those teeth. Let's get this one done. Whew. Keep going, keep going, keep going. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Oh, that's a burner. Roll it out, roll it out. Okay, we're doing triceps next. If you haven't got an actual flexi band, you can do tricep dips on your sofa, or you can bring your arms behind your head and extend and do this one as if you're throwing a netball. But if you've got a resistance band, we're going to do them like this. One hand behind your back, opposite arm coming up and out. Up and out. So that bottom hand doesn't move, the top arm does. If you're tricep dipping on your sofa, just remember the further forwards you walk your feet, the harder it is. So I'm not saying don't walk your feet forwards, I'm saying have a little play around with what works for you. Make sure that you're pushing back up using your hands and your arms rather than your feet. We're switching sides. If you're tricep dipping, keep on going. Good. The last little lot, you can do it for 3 and 2 and 1. Roll them back, roll them back. Pop the band down for a second and grab a quick drink. You can take a quick breather. Good stuff. And then when you're ready, we're coming back to it. Okay, back around, whatever you're using, around your hands a couple of times. We're into speed ball again, just out in front of us at the moment, okay? So squeeze through the glutes, hips facing forwards. I want you getting your arms involved first, because then we're going to incorporate something else. But if I tell you to do it all at once, it's a bit like patting your head and rubbing your belly at the same time. So get going with those arms, not as hard out in front as it is overhead. And then once you've got your little rhythm going on, we're going to incorporate a squat to leg raise, squat to leg raise. So you see, I told you to do all of that at once. We would have been all over the place. And you can either just lift that leg, or if you want to go for a little bit more power, kick it out. Just go with what works for you though. Keep those arms going. Good. Oh, it's a lot of brain energy being used at silly o'clock in the morning, isn't it? Keep going. Whew. We're going for 5 and 4, 3 and 2. Last one. Stop with those arms going. Okay, good. If you've got a band, or if you've got any of those small little loop bands, they work well here. You're going to pop them around your ankles. If you haven't got a band, you're going to do this with nothing, okay? Don't go tying yourself up in muslins or anything. This works absolutely without as well. So round the ankles, you want your feet about shoulder width apart, okay? So with or without the band, we're going to go into this lovely little penguin waddle, end of pregnancy waddle, where we're literally rocking side to side on the feet. Now, if you haven't got the band, you might want to bring your legs slightly further for this. Have to play around with what feels good for you. If you've got a band, you should start to feel it through the outer thighs here. So really make sure that you're not letting that band go slack, okay? Getting some good resistance in. So you're keeping on rocking for now. Okay. Next up, you're going to need just a little bit of space. You don't need too much, okay? We're coming down into a squat and we're coming into a monster walk. Again, you can do this with or without. So I'm going to come back and forth in front of my camera. If you want to go off screen and go around your lounge or around anywhere in your house, feel free. Just make sure you come back. Keep low. Keep low. I know these are the biggest thing that you've missed from my outdoor classes when I send you off randomly around parks looking like this. So stay low, you should be getting a burn. Keep going. What are we doing? It's not even 8 o'clock in the morning, it's the school holidays. What kind of craziness is this? Keep it going, keep it going. Okay, coming back to where you were. Oh, standing up, and then you're back into those little side rocks. Feeling it? I am. Goodness me. Keep it going. Side to side. Wider apart if you haven't got that band. We're going for 4, 3, 2, 1. You thought it was all over, but it's not. We're back into these. Good. Stay low, stay low. If you haven't got much space, you can literally come back and forth and add a couple of extra little bounces in like I am. The things I make you do, ladies. It's working now. I know you're feeling it. Keep going, keep going. For 5 and 4, 3, 2, and back into position. If you had the band on, you can kick that off. Or I'll give your legs a little stretch out if you need to. Let's go into some side stretches because that is a burner. Coming across one side and then the other. Oh, good stuff. Tip it forwards. Keep those legs straight. Okay, coming back up. We're going to be coming down onto the mat. So if you need to move your cameras a little bit, then do. Bring your band or your belt down with you. I'm just going to adjust you like that. Make sure you've got your water. Okay, good stuff. So you're going to need to unknot your band if you tied it up to get around your ankles there. Now if you've got a dressing gown belt, this will work for this one, okay? Again, if you've not got anything, I'll show you an option. Woo. We're all lifted up. So we're sitting up, we're coming into a row. So you're going to hook your band or your belt around your feet, sitting up nice and tall, elbows tucked in, and you're coming into a row. So that's option 1. Option 2, if your core is stronger, you're going to lean it back. Still just the elbows moving, okay? Now you might not have the give in a band, if you're in a belt if you're doing that one. So if not, you're going to come into these bow and arrow elbow drops that you can again do sitting up or leaning back. So you've got lots of options here. We're working the core. Make sure if you're rowing that you go where you're comfortable. If you're leaning back and it feels like it's too much pressure on the abdominals, sit it back up. So keep going. You're alternating sides if you've got that bow and arrow going on. Good. Keep it going, keep it going. For 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Bring it back up. You can stretch it off a little bit, reach down to the toes or your shins. Hold it here. Okay, good stuff. We're coming down onto our back, so either rolling onto your sides and coming down, or you can lower yourself down into a roll. We're going to do some resisted glute bridges. So if you've got a band, pin it down to the floor. If you've got a weight, you can use a weight here. You can use your little one on your lap, or you can do without. Feet positioned on the mat. If you're using the band, pin it down. You're lifting your hips up and using that band as resistance. Okay, so I'm pulling the band down. Or you've got your weight held onto your hips here. That works as added resistance. It's all about just making those muscles work harder, getting more bang for your buck with each move. You're holding. So hold it up here. Breathe. 2 and 1. You're going to roll that spine back down towards the mat. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Take a breather. Reconnect the core, belly button, back to spine. Pin that band down if you're using the band. Lift your hips. Are you going as high as you can? Obviously that resistance there is going to mean that you can't perhaps lift as high as you would without it. But can you feel it working? So this is great. We're working our glutes. We're working the pelvic floor. We're working our lower core, our lower abdominals. And we're working all the way up our back onto our shoulders. Hold it, hold it, hold it. 3, 2, and 1. Rolling it back down again. Okay, final one of these, okay? Again, just take the time to connect that core before you lift off, and then when you're ready, lifting up, really getting a good squeeze through the glutes. Hold it here. 3, and 2, and 1. Slowly peeling that spine back down towards your mat. Do not rush it here. Okay, good stuff. Right, we're going into some toe taps, so you don't need your band. You can pop that to one side. Just make sure that you're comfortable on your mat. Got a couple of options here. You can keep one foot on the floor, lift the other leg up, and just go for toe taps on a single side. So this is the one that you're going to go for. If you've got any back issues, or if you're newly postnatal, just take it slowly here and stay on one side. If you're fine, you're going to lift both knees up. Just make sure that the knees are over the hip bones, okay? And then you're going to drop down in alternate formation. That's a good word. Okay, with these, the further forwards you drop your feet, the harder it is, or the more intense it is on that core. Put your hands on your tummy muscles, feel them working here. Okay, so have a play around. Keep on going. If you're just on one leg, you can now switch sides. So bring that other foot up and drop the other one just for a bit of balance. And so that the pressure isn't so much on those abdominals. It's a good one, this one. Keep going. 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Bring both knees into your chest. If you want to lift your shoulders up a little bit, then you can. Stretch it out, stretch it out. Okay, then when you're ready, you're going to roll over onto your side. Bring that band back. If you want to, if you've got a band, you can tie it around your ankles again here. We're doing side leg lifts, okay? So if you want to add a little bit of resistance, then go for it. If not, do it without. You can either be propped up on your elbow, or you can be down on your mat here. If you've got the band, you're pulsing, so you've got the resistance there. If you're doing it without, you're coming all the way up. Okay, so two options, both working those thighs. So go with whichever one you can do. I don't know if I can get back into that band now. Keep going. You can bring that other arm down onto the mat in front of you for a bit of stability, or if you want to make it harder, bring that support away. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Whew. Breathe. 3 and 2 and 1. Good stuff. You're going to flip around onto the other side. I'm just going to come up so that I haven't got my back to you. So when you're ready, in position again, keep going, either with those pulses, banded pulses, or with your straight leg lifts. Take that hand away if you want to work a little bit harder. Make sure that those hips stay stacked, okay? This top hip isn't rolling forwards. Keep it going. Good. Whew. Go, go, go. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good stuff. Come out of the band. If that's what you're doing, we're rolling back onto our back to finish up. Okay, you either coming into just some little pelvic tilts, so really gentle movement, or if you want to, you can go into a single leg bridge, or 2 legs, it's fine. You have a play around with what works for you. So if you're doing your pelvic tilts, you're literally rolling your pelvis into your rib cage here. Okay, your bottom isn't leaving the floor. Or you're going to bring it back into your double leg bridge, and you're going to continue that roll and come all the way up. Or if you want to work harder still, either crossing one leg over or extending one leg out and coming up into a single leg bridge that way. Alternate legs if you're doing single legs. Or just stay with these pelvic tilts, okay, which are really good too. Keep it going. 2 and 1. Good stuff. You're going to drop your knees down onto one side, and then you're going to swoop your arms over to the opposite side as we come into our stretches now. This should feel really nice. So make sure that your neck follows in the direction of your arms, and hold it here. When you're ready, you're going to come up to center, and then you're going to swoop across in the opposite direction than you were before. Oh, you can tell from the way my voice changed there that I need this stretch. This is a good one. So hold it here. Good stuff. Okay, coming back to center, you're going to bring one knee over the other leg, bring the other leg up, see if you can grab behind that straight leg, behind the knee. You should get a nice stretch through the glutes. If you can't quite grab it here, just bring this ankle towards you. Really nice little glute stretch after all those banded monster walks. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And then when you're ready, switch sides. So bring the other knee across. Again, just grab around the back of that straight leg, or bring the ankle towards you. You can play around a little bit with the angle so that you get the real stretch. Hold it here. Okay. And then when you're ready, either coming onto your side, or you can roll yourself back up. We're going to stretch the legs out this way. So coming across, keep that leg straight. Grab a hold of wherever you can, ankles, toes. Hold it here. Let's take a good stretch. Okay, coming across on the other side. Same again, just reach wherever you can. Hold it here. Sorry for all the banging, that's my husband going in and out. The joys of a home studio that is also a lounge. Oh, hold it, hold it, hold it. Okay, good stuff. Sitting up, however is comfortable. You're going to bring one arm up and over. Either grab a hold of the elbow or you can come behind and grab the fingers. We're going to stretch those triceps out a little bit. Hold it here. Just get rid of this little message on the screen. And then you're going to switch sides. Good, good, good. That's another nice stretch. Oh, good work, good work. Okay, bringing the palms of your hands down into the small of your back. Shoulder blades are squeezed together, chest comes out. Hold this one. Drop your chin down to your chest if you want to here. Okay, and then bringing one arm up and over, leaning away from that stretch so that you get that lovely, lovely stretch up the side of your waist there. We're holding it this way. And then we're swooping across onto the other side. Holding it this side. Just roll the shoulders back and then come into that lovely big final stretch out. Shoulder blades apart, belly button back to spine. Really lovely one here, especially after some of that band work at the beginning. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Good stuff. Rolling back, and I'm coming in for a virtual high five. Let me come down this way. Woo, good work, team. Thanks to those of you who are joining me live. Good luck to those of you who've just done this on repeat. Let me know how you get on. I'm going to stop the recording and we can have a little chat.